Alright, how should we start this video?
Let's get drunk and film something.
Oh gosh. Kermit. Welcome to episode 2 of The Pull List, your source for some things comics on YouTube. My name is Travis.
I'm Witt.
And let's get started. In this episode, I thought that Witt and I would go through some of the stuff that we're currently reading just to give you guys a sense of what we're already delving into before we decide on some of the things that our little comic book club is actually going to start reading together. Witt, what are you reading?
Alright, well, I'm not one of the guys that likes to go get comics every week when they come out. I like to do things like buy compendiums. This is Walking Dead Compendium 1 and 2. Both of these compendiums here go from issue 1 to issue 96. I also have Trade 17, which takes you all the way through issue 102.
Issue number 105 is the one that was most recently released, but we'll get to that later. What else are you reading?
What else am I reading? You guys also know, if you've seen my videos, that I'm addicted to Scott Pilgrim. These are the re-releases, all in Technicolor. And I just love Scott Pilgrim, so it's a great reread for like the 10th time.
We all know that you're obsessed with Scott Pilgrim, but what do you like most about it? Is it the artwork, is it the story, is it everything?
What I do like is so many of the subtext meanings. People that smoke are actually evil in the comic book. This is gonna make me sound all sappy. Ramona was worth the fight. You just don't find that in people anymore. Also, just picked this up on like page 20, but I do have the Deadpool volume 1. Yeah, it looks like 1 through 12 with some of the Thunderbolts, 130, 131. I've got a couple others that I'm gonna be getting into, me and my roommate. Kick-Ass 2. I got a lot of the new 52 from DC Comics. Yeah, I'm not too thrilled with them so far either. And Travis just got me Marvel Now Deadpool number 1. Travis, how about you?
On the Marvel side of things, if you followed the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, there's a lot of aftermath stuff going on, like the all-new X-Men. Now, if you read Avengers vs. X-Men, and the end, there's a lot of stuff that happens with what Cyclops did, him kind of bordering on making a mutant civil war, which would be a bad thing. So Beast takes it upon himself to try to fix everything. Let's just say it has to do with time travel and the original X-Men and Cyclops meeting himself in the future and not really liking what he sees. Also with the Avengers vs. X-Men aftermath is the Uncanny Avengers. Thank you, Jim. This storyline is just getting so good. Like, I never really liked Red Skull as a bad guy, but just the things that are happening so far, like, they're only on issue number 2. Issue number 3 should be coming out very soon, but it's just, it kind of leaves me on a cliffhanger at the end of all 2 issues that have been out, but it's really, really tense right now. And also, of course, because I gave it to Jim, I'm following the new Deadpool series where he fights and kills dead presidents.
And there's kittens on issue number 1.
Look at the kitties. Meow. 2 other Marvel stories that I'm currently reading, The Avengers and The New Avengers. Actually, not exactly sure how to feel about these right now because they're only on issue number 1, but I like The Avengers, but it's just, I'm not sure exactly where they're taking the storyline. And another Marvel series that I've talked about in other videos that I've been following for the past few months is the new Scarlet Spider. Scarlet Spider and Venom actually joined up to fight Carnage, which is one of my favorite Marvel bad guys. That just ended, so it's gonna be really interesting to see where the Scarlet Spider goes from there. Am I saying interesting too much? I think I'm saying the word interesting too much.
And things are very interesting though. It's interesting how much you're saying interesting.
I need to aggrandize my vocabulary. Steering away from Marvel for a little bit because I'm kind of a Marvel fanboy, I got this from a very good friend of mine for Christmas and I'm really excited to finish reading it. A Wrinkle in Time was actually one of my favorite kids books back in elementary school and they turned it into a graphic novel which makes it so interesting to read and actually see the characters.
You only did that to cover up my face.
Kinda. And a lot of you were commenting about this in my last video. Yes, I am currently following the new Doctor Who series. I don't really know where they're gonna take it now that Amy and Rory aren't there anymore, but we'll see what happens. Also, like my video counterpart here, I am following The Walking Dead. In my last video, I talked about how I was way more of a Marvel fanboy than I was DC, and that I really didn't like the way that DC was doing their new 52, but I went to the comic book store a few days ago and decided to give more DC stuff a chance. One DC graphic novel that I knew came highly recommended was The Long Halloween, and while reading it, you can definitely see where Christopher Nolan gets a lot of his influences for The Dark Knight. It originally came out in '96 in single issue form, and this version, I believe, came out in 2011. It's a New York Times best-selling classic, and Christopher Nolan is quoted as saying that it's more than a comic book, it's an epic tragedy. Being that I'm only about 50-some pages in, though, I can't give a full review, but I might make a video just about The Long Halloween in the future. I also picked up some issues of the New 52, but they are issue number 0, so I'm not sure exactly how much they have to do with the actual storylines. Earth 2, don't really think I'm gonna keep up with it. I might get the next couple issues just to see where the storyline goes, but I'm kind of bored with it already.
New 52, issue 0 Earth 2.
New 52, Earth 2, issue number 0. I also picked up issue number 0 of Superman, which I don't know how much this actually has to do with the main storyline of the New 52 Superman, because it's just a story about his parents before the planet blows up.
Why is he green?
That's Superman's dad.
Green is kryptonite.
Not everything green is kryptonite.
It's obviously made of rock. Name another green rock, Travis.
Emerald?
No, not true. Emerald's turquoise.
And finally, I picked up issue number 15 of Batman in the New 52. And this story, I really, really like. The way that they did the Joker, the artwork, the storytelling. Someone who's a complete madman and thrives on utter chaos, but yet can keep one step ahead of all these other superheroes. It's in the Death of the Family story arc, and without a doubt, I'm picking up more Death of the Family story arc issues. So there you go, I gave some New 52 stuff a chance. Batman, I am super excited for. I'm also reading a comic series called Chew, but I will do an entire video on Chew sometime in the near future. For our little comic book club thing, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this in the future, because I don't want to be like, let's read this comic, and then have people not have enough time to pick up the comic before I make a video about it. So I'm just gonna make a little list of comics that I actually want to talk about in the future for our comic book club, and if you can pick up the issues, great. If you don't care about them, okay. I highly recommend getting Batman from the New 52. Even though it was issue number 15, I was able to follow the storyline pretty well. A lot of comics will catch you up to speed with the information that you need to know. Also, if you read the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, I highly suggest getting the all-new X-Men and the Uncanny Avengers. And like I said in my previous video, January 9th, the Superior Spider-Man issue number 1 comes out, and I am definitely going to be picking that up just to see what's gonna go on, and I highly recommend that you guys all do that too. That'll be part of our comic book club thing. Will you be reading it?
Yes, probably, because you'll force me to.
Hey, yeah, I probably will. So after I finish A Long Halloween and A Wrinkle in Time, they will each get their own video with my opinions of said graphic novels. If you've read any graphic novels in the past, or if you want to talk about them, let me know in the comments down below, and who knows, I might make a video about them in the future. Well, Witt, what do you recommend?
Of course, guys, I'm always gonna recommend Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, of course.
We're looking for the 3rd special edition to come out sometime in May, so you got a while on that. The regular issues of 1 through 6 can be purchased pretty much anywhere. As always, I'm gonna be following Walking Dead, both the TV show and the comic, as it comes out. I'm just kind of delaying because I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh my god, it's been freaking a month yet, so the new Walking Dead's out.
Yeah, I would recommend Walking Dead too, but unless you want to spend the $10 to $14 per trade to catch up or get the compendiums, how much were those?
$60 a piece.
They're $60 each.
One other thing, guys, it's not comic related, but I am a tabletop gamer, and the new game did come out, Munchkin Apocalypse. It's awesome. Follows a simple kill the monsters, stab your friends in the back, reach level 10, but there's a new twist on it and a new way to win the game. Definitely worth checking out.
You should start a tabletop game series on your channel.
Will Wheaton's already got one.
So?
It's called Tabletop.
Will Wheaton ain't got nothing on you, man.
I'm a Wesley Crusher.
That's it for this episode of The Pool List. Don't forget to subscribe and help me fuel my comic book obsession. Alright, bye.